Good morning. It's Monday, January 31st, and there is something awful going on in this country. Something that many of us voted against. And I'll tell you what it is. The former president of the country, Donald J. Trump, is on one of his rally barrages. He's going to rallies all over the country. And he is not supporting the governors necessarily or the congressmen. He is supporting members of his flock. I will call them members of his flock, who are running to become the Secretary of States. And they are going to try and win the election in Arizona, Wisconsin, Georgia, and Nevada. Now, those are states that Trump lost in the last election. And those are states that have a heavy population of people who believe in the big lie. And these candidates who are running for Secretary of State in those states are firm believers in the big lie also. And they have many ideas about how to change the running of elections. Now, do we want people to be Secretary of States in this country who are predisposed to challenge the results of any election? These people are firm believers that Donald Trump won the election. One of the gentlemen that was interviewed actually said there were at least 30,000 errors in Nevada that he knew of, and the whole election in Nevada should have been overturned. And this is a man who is getting funding from people and the backing of Donald Trump. And then there's the man in the white hat, Finchin, who is running for Secretary of State in Arizona, who has gone out and raised $650,000 to run. And Trump supports him 100%. And you see these people standing on rally platforms and speaking about the jobs they intend to do as Secretary of State and how they are going to make sure that elections are valid. And they're cheering behind these people. Then you can understand why I'm a little bit upset about what's going on. Because the people that Trump is supporting are his supporters who believe in the big lie. Now, 62% of all Republicans believe in the big lie, so that's not unusual. I wouldn't expect these people to believe otherwise if Trump was willing to support them. But if he is going out and spending his time on supporting Secretary of States who believe in the big lie, then you know that we are in trouble, because this is a very potent threat to democracy. If one can get his supporters, if Trump can get his supporters in elected roles with the oversight of elections at local and state levels, that would give him tremendous leverage to decide who is going to win the election. Because if his secretaries of state say, I suspect there was something wrong, they will start auditing. And you know, in their auditing, the ballots might disappear. So this is a terrible thing. You can imagine that if the ultimate win for these people would be able to put their own secretaries of state in office, and how elections are conducted, how they would control the way elections are conducted, and they would sign off on the results. There is no more category of elected official than secretaries of states that could be instrumental in overturning the popular vote in their state. This is an unprecedented move in American history. I can never remember any candidate for presidency taking the time out to worry about who's going to be the Secretary of State in some state and who's going to throw his political might behind that person. Now, if we look at what might happen in 2022, there are a number of viable Republican candidates in states that could decide the next presidential election who question and who believe Trump actually won the election. And those people who are going to run in these states are proposing big changes to how the elections are run. Now, how many changes can you make to the way the election runs? You have voters. They come to the polls with a ballot that's filled out. What are you going to change about that? The person should come and either he's got a mail-in ballot of some kind or he's got a regular ballot and he fills it out. And then your responsibility is to count it. What do you want to change about that? Everybody should be a citizen. Everybody should be over 18. Everybody should be a resident of the state that they are voting in. What more do you want? How much more complicated do you want to make this? If you don't want people to mail in ballots, fine. Have them present them in public, in person, if that's what your feeling is. It's okay to mail them out, but if you don't want to accept them coming back in the mail, that's fine. Make them come to and use that ballot and vote in person. I don't have a problem with that. Now, if people are ill and they have trouble getting to the ballot box, then you have to have a way of securing those ballots and making sure that somebody reputable brings those ballots to the polling place. And let's not have people running around changing polling hours and moving polling boxes all over the place and making things difficult for people. We want 100% clean election officials. Nobody coming in there with a predisposed disposition that the vote was fraudulent in 2020. We need more people like Ben Raffensperger and other people who stood up, other Republicans who stood up. And Ginsburg, you know the name Ginsburg, he's the leading Republican election official, and he doesn't believe in the big lie, and he doesn't believe in going out and pushing hard for these bogus secretaries of state. But this is a monumental event that's going on here. Nobody's really paying attention to it, and that's a big problem. Trump can go all around this country and make rallies, and we see the people with the red hats and mega, and all of that. And that shouldn't be. That shouldn't be. So it's very sad, and I'm upset about the whole thing. And I'm letting you know what's going on. So I'll say goodbye for now, and I'll see you in the morning. Bye.